There's no sugarcoating it. There's no this other thing. The Avs lost. They're out of the playoffs in pretty brutal fashion, if I'm honest. Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche post-game show presented by Bet365. We got Big E and Rudo coming to you for the last time of the season. We'll still have 5 shows a week during the off season, but that sucked. The Avs had a 2-0 lead with less than 13 minutes left in the game, and they lost 4-2. They gave up 3 real unanswered goals and an empty netter. I don't know what to tell you. This team can't do it. They just can't do it. There is no. You can look at the numbers, or you can look at bad. You can look at all these things. At a certain point, a team can't do it. They can't beat Dallas, and they can't win Game 7s. Yeah, the different pieces. Yeah, They can't do it. They didn't do it tonight on what was their best opportunity to do so. I don't know what else to tell you, but it sucks.
I know, and to be honest with you, it's a tough show to do, right? You know that.
Of course.
For Chad, for the fans, for the coaches, for the players, for anyone. I'm shocked. Really thought that what I said before the built different this year. That it is different. It felt different. I think we were right. It's 2-0. You've given a 13 shots on net against a good team with 14 minutes to go in the third period. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? So, I mean, for me, yeah, it's shocking. It's disappointing. I mean, again, this is post game. This is not nerves. This is feelings talking. I want to kill that power play. I'm not going to lie to you.
It was horrible.
It lost you the series. It's the difference in this series. Could have had that game. Won the series in 5 if your power play produced in the first couple games. So yeah, the power play. And what is the power play? Is the top guys. I mean, I'm sorry. Like I have a hard time with it. I come from people give me flack or slack, whatever you call that. Avalanche 1.0. Well, I got news for you. All those years, pretty much like 19, 21, like they produced when it came. Like when the time came, they produced.
Yep.
Game 7s, and that's you. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is I'm shocked. I really didn't think the power play was going to go 1 for 18, last 18. I didn't think Cale was going to go quiet.
It's more than just the power play.
No, I'm using because power play falls on top guys. That's who plays.
Yes.
I'm like, man, that Brock Nelson, C-Mac makes the play because the core wants it, and you go and do it. Then you got to go do your job. When you lose in this fashion, your core didn't do their job. They didn't. I'm sorry, but they didn't do their job. So, man, when it comes down to making a play or whatever, or making saves, again, guys, I mean, I like McKenzie. I'm not blaming him. It's a save percentage in the 800s. I mean, that's just what it is. Again, I sound like the goalie killer all the time. It's not. It's not like he was superior to Ottinger. Like he wasn't, especially the last, I know it was a shutout the other day, which is awesome. But I don't know. I'm not blaming him. I'm saying when you're up 2-0 and you're trying to close out, this is 3 times they lost going in the third period where they had the lead.
You can't do that
in the
2-goal
playoffs.
lead with a little more than 12 minutes left in this game.
Again,
man. You completely fell apart.
I don't want this it's not the goal. It's everything.
Yes,
from your goalie on to
your power play couldn't put the game away. You took bad penalties. You got unlucky. All of those things are true.
But so it's everything.
If you are a legitimate team that really wants to win a cup, you have to be able to overcome things. And the Avs did the opposite. They undercame. They just completely fell apart in a game that.
And I'm shocked.
They really should have. They played 45 really good minutes of hockey. They really did.
I know.
And then they collapsed. Just completely collapsed in on themselves. They couldn't do it. They didn't have it in them.
I know. I was wrong. I really thought that this core would be better. This core would kill a penalty when they had to kill a penalty. This core would score a goal on the power play when they could put teams away. And I really thought they could defend when the time came. They certainly did. They gave up 13 shots. But I don't know. I'm just, and then the Mikko thing. Yeah, Mikko is a good player. We all, I mean, we can talk about that next week, but Mikko's a good player. Nobody has ever said he's not a good player. This is why Mikko's a good player. Mikko produces.
He beat you in this game, that's for sure.
Mikko produces, and he always has. So, but whatever. I mean, wow, this is a tough one.
There's no fun here. Season is what it is. I don't know how you look at a first round exit as anything but disappointing. Dallas is a good opponent. We believe they're probably going to go far in these playoffs. We believed whoever won this series was going to go far, but
I mean, if they respond and they don't panic and they punch back like these things, well, that's a good team.
You can't look at a season where the Avs legitimately went all in to go on a deep playoff run and call a round one exit okay. You just can't. There's no world where this result is an acceptable one. What are the results of that? I don't know. We'll talk about it all off season. I don't particularly want to get into that side of it tonight. But the reality is the Avs need to go take a good hard look at themselves and say, what's up? And I don't just mean any one guy. I mean the whole team. Because if you can't get up, if you can't get it done, if you can't figure it out with a 2-goal lead with 12 minutes in a game 7 of the playoffs, when are you going to figure it out?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you do from here, to be honest. I really don't. Because you feel like something has to change, but what and how and what actually makes you better? Like I said, we'll discuss it all off season, so there'll be months and months of that. The game itself, you scored a shorthanded goal in this game, and you lost the special teams battle. Yeah. And I know, yes, 100%. Power play, disastrous. You can't go 0 for a billion on your power play in game 5, 6, and 7 of the playoffs. You can't. Terrible. But also, at some point, somebody has to make a play. Yes, the penalty on Cale sucks. His stick blows up. It's bad luck. So kill the penalty. Get the job done. Someone make a better play. Don't make a worse play, and everything just collapses. It's very frustrating.
And that's my thing. That's my point. Make a play. Mm-hmm. Kill a penalty, right? How many times did Dallas got themselves back? Jamie Benn.
Yeah.
What is it? The pass across at Wyatt Johnston tonight was it Johnston again? The pass. Who scores on that one? No, it's Mikko.
Yeah, I mean Mikko scored all but one of them. So
no. I mean, so the
third one is Wyatt. Yeah,
Wyatt again. So he's got 2 power play goals. Ben's got 1, and they're either got them tied in the game or ahead in the game in the third periods.
Yeah.
And then they killed penalties, obviously, because the Avs didn't score freaking goals on the power play. So give Dallas credit. I think it's stubbornness to the Avalanche, but give Dallas credit. And yeah, I mean, I'm baffled. I'm shocked. I'm mad. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I was wrong, and I'll say it right here on the air. I was wrong. I really didn't think it was going to go this way. And I said this will test their character, and this is why it's. They didn't respond. They didn't respond. You had Gabe Landeskog, the best example for adversity, for going everything.
You have one team.
I mean, if that didn't give you a boost, like what was going to give you a boost? Nothing.
One of these teams came back from third period deficits 3 times in this series. You cannot say the Avs didn't have it in the palm of their hand. They just let it get away. Dallas had not had a multi-goal comeback in the third period this entire season, and they just did it in the biggest time while the Avs went away. There's no that Dallas was better. Full stop.
I don't know what to tell you. So,
what is there to say? Honestly, other than an unbelievably disappointing season that fell apart at the worst possible time, and now you're left to pick up the pieces on a very uncertain future. It maybe couldn't have gone worse. It almost would have been better if the Avs just got cleaned out in this series. Because then you could just go, all right, they were wrong and this team isn't built for it. But now you feel like they probably could have done it, but they were their own worst enemy.
Playoff hockey is about closing things out. Do we agree? That's what it's about.
Sure.
No, I mean, like you close out, like you have like Dallas closed things out. They had opportunities. I mean, they got themselves out. Like the Avalanche, they get power plays in the second and third game in overtime. They never closed out.
Yeah,
Now they get a 2-goal lead tonight. They get a goal lead 3 times in the third period. They didn't close out. Like they didn't close out. That's what the whole 7-game series is about. Did they play well at times? Did they give up nothing? Yeah. But when it came down to making a play at the right time, they didn't make a play.
They didn't get it done.
And if you don't have that, it's tough to win. Because that's how you win. Hey, you got Logan O'Connor was arguably the best player in the series.
I agree.
You're getting that.
It actually ends up being Mikko, but LOC's the second best player.
I forgot about Mikko. Yeah, sorry. I'm on the Avs side of things. Mikko was the best player in the series. That for me, and again, I'm soft sometimes towards management. You all know in my background. It's again, I'm a player too, but management. Core went to see C-Mac say, "We want a shot at this. Give us a shot." Management did their job. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. This is what I'm going to tell you here. Call me like whatever you want to call me. Management led by C-Mac did their job.
I mean, they
now the core did not do their job. I'm sorry, but that's how it works. And you can't be afraid of words. Management can't go play. Joel can't go play. C-Mac can't go play. They did their job. They gave them all the ammo to go and to be successful. They didn't close it out.
On an ability level, I don't know how the Avs could have really built a better team than
I'm
they
sorry,
did.
I'm not. I've worked with the Avs. I'm not trying to work for the Avs, so it's all good. I work for them. This is my life. It's my family. It's all good. But management did their job. As players, I don't want to hear bad luck by this, by that. They didn't do their job.
Yeah, no, I agree. They
didn't do their job.
They failed. That's ultimately what it came down to.
Didn't do their job.
And
some guys that were newcomers came in and didn't do much. Because maybe they're not made to win. They're not made for win. It's hard to win in the National Hockey League. The Avalanche know that. The 2022 team knows that. It's hard to win. You got to do a lot more than some of those guys.
Not supposed to be easy, but ultimately the Avs made it harder than it had to be and made it so hard that they couldn't do it. So I don't know what to tell you on the actual Avs team. This just feels like they don't have it in them. Maybe after 48 hours, I'll feel differently, and this is just the emotional loss. But I'm not a crazy person most of the time. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And this team cannot win a Game 7.
They can't.
They cannot beat the Dallas Stars. They cannot beat Pete DeBoer. They can't do it. They can't. Yes, the different players, different core, different. Okay, sure. They can't do it.
I don't know what to tell you. They can't. They certainly didn't tonight.
No, they probably should have. They could have, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's what losers talk about, and that's why we're here talking about it. I don't know. I don't know how you feel good about the Colorado Avalanche after that series. I just don't. I don't feel probably as doomer as some people, but I don't blame you if you feel pretty doomed.
Oh, I mean, I'm doomed right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked. I am shocked. So don't know what else to say. I'm shocked.
It's the reality of the situation is that the Avs have a long summer and Dallas is a little bit less long. Let's take our first break here as we do have to pay a few bills. We are brought to you by UC Health. Look, maybe go take care of your mental health after that loss because that sucked. No fun there at all. UC Health, the official healthcare partner of the Colorado Avalanche. I hope they go help out the Avs, get their heads on straight because there were some mental failures in that game. Go check them out. They just want to make sure everyone is living like there is a tomorrow. You can head on over to uchealth.org today. Live extraordinary UC Health. And then if you want to drive as far away from this feeling as humanly possible, go get yourself a Toyota. Toyota, the official vehicle of us here at DNVR and the Colorado Avalanche. So when they make you very upset, Toyota, they're not going to make you not upset about the Avs, but you can drive up into the mountains and get away from the madness. That you can do in a Toyota with their 17 different all-wheel drive vehicles. And, of course, there's 16 different hybrids or electrics, too. They've got electrics even in trucks. Whatever it is, they've got a vehicle for you from Toyota. They are the official vehicle of us here at DNVR. Go check them out at your local Toyota stores. AutoNation Toyota, Rapo in Centennial, Corbin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, let's go places. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast, presented by Bet365. Look, this game in a lot of ways, for the first good portion of it, played out how we expected. Honestly, for all of it, other than, the Avs completely collapsing, played out how we expected. Expected it to be a super sludgy, slow game. It was. The Avs failed to capitalize on early opportunities, but as did Dallas. It was a very low event game through two periods, if we're being honest.
But great.
Yeah. The Avs penalty kill comes up huge for them. Doesn't just kill another penalty in the second, but scores on it, gives you a 1-goal lead. You're in the driver's seat. It was yours to lose then, and it especially became yours to lose as you score a second goal early in the second period, a delayed penalty situation where McKinnon gets the goal off of one that Ottinger is going to want back if this game ended differently.
But like you always say, you give one up, you better. At the end of the day, he didn't give up anymore.
I really don't. I know there's a million comments talking about Bednar and all of that. Yeah. I don't understand that. Like, if you want to fire Bednar, fine. But the idea that he got out-coached in a game where for 45 minutes the Avs were winning 2-0, he somehow gets blamed for the Avs' close losses but doesn't get credit for the games that the Avs blew the Stars out in this series. You have to look at the whole picture. You can't just look at the bottom side of it and say, well, these are the reasons that these players suck. Or Jared Bednar sucks. If you want to have that conversation, I'm sure we will. Again,
I know
during the offseason. But you have to look at multiple sides of every picture there. Like Nathan McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon scored a goal in this game. Was one of the most productive players, if not the most productive player in this series. And you have to take that with there were also times where Nathan McKinnon screwed up massively in this series. But you're not going to get rid of Nathan McKinnon because he's Nathan McKinnon, even with some of the mistakes that there are. So,
I don't know.
E. What broke this game? What broke it? Was it really just the Stars' first goal? Was it the penalties? Was it bad luck? What was truly the start of the dam breaking and the Colorado Avalanche blowing this?
Well, I mean, the inability to stop Mikko. I mean, I'm sorry, but he's got 2 4-point periods last 2 games.
Not wrong.
Last 3 games, whatever. And the inability to kill a penalty, or as a group of 6, 5 guys on the ice and a goalie, at the right time. And I mean, I don't know. I wanted to kill the power play in January. and that's one thing I was right about. Like, it's not hurting you until it will. And it certainly did. It hurt you in this series. It hurt you. And again tonight, it hurt you again. Not only you had a 4-minute power play, you didn't really, again, it didn't matter because, you still took the 2-0 lead. But then when it came down to make it a 3-1 or 3-0 lead, and I remember they got the power play, they didn't, capitalize. They don't. And it hurts you. And then you leave a lurking team right there, the chance to get back in, and Mikko gets them in a 2-1, and then, is it a bad call by the? I mean, I feel bad. Jack is fighting and battling, and he tugs him down with his left hand. I don't know. Is that a penalty? Is that a soft? I don't know. It's a penalty. It was called a penalty, but you can't. You have a goalie that's right there with no paddle, and then you got 3 guys right there, and still Matt Duchene makes the pass across. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? They made plays. Avs didn't. And that's it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So you're trying to put away or win a series against a good team, you got to make plays.
Yep.
And they didn't. So
Dallas made plays, they didn't. At the end of the day, that is what it is. We have Justin Tiff. Let's go to Just in Time. We can bring him in, presented by Bet365. I obviously a devastating loss, Justin. I don't know that me and Eric even know what to say at this point. That's nothing but pain right now, basically.
Yeah, that was a lot like watching a fatal car crash. I think it was.
It was
brutal. You felt the writing on the wall after they get on the board, just some bad luck. Cale breaks the stick.
Yep.
I thought maybe he got the puck with his skate before, tripping him. And so maybe a little bit of an iffy call, but you just got to credit the Stars for their resilience in this series. I mean, they won 3 games that you could make an argument they really had no business winning. And I think, obviously, if you want to go the other way, I don't think that speaks very highly of the Avalanche and their ability to close out. I mean, Nathan MacKinnon mentioned that, Dallas, same thing everybody's saying on social media, I'm sure, but, they're missing 2 of their top guys, and you still can't get through this team. And I don't know. There are just weird things in sports sometimes. And the Avalanche in Game 7s is one of those things right now. I mean, 23 years. I think this was very clearly the best team since, the 2022 Cup winning team. And I guess if you're looking for a silver lining in terms of like this whole era of Avalanche hockey and, whether it's a success or not, like you did win a Stanley Cup and you did so without even having to go to Game 7, which was, shows how good that team was. But this was just a brutal collapse. I've covered some pretty epic ones over the years on the CSU side of things. I mean, I've seen a team be up 28-3 and lose. I've seen the Rams be up 2 scores with 2 minutes left in Boulder and find a way to lose. So, like, I've seen some stuff in sports that have truly left me more or less speechless, and it's kind of where I'm at with this one. It's just at a loss for words. Like, it just feels like this is a boogeyman that the Avs can't get off their shoulders. And I tweeted earlier today, and I'm sure I'm going to get memed into oblivion, that regardless of outcome, I feel like Jared Bednar is a top 5 coach in the NHL, and that one did not help my cause. I'll say that. But I don't know. I don't know where you go from here. I think this opens up some difficult big picture questions, and it's going to be a really interesting offseason. And it seems pretty clear that everybody in the locker room knows that based on the responses. Yeah,
there are consequences when you don't get the job done. I'll put it to you that way. Obviously, the game result is terrible. It's not all bad. You get a 2-goal lead. You get a goal from Nathan MacKinnon. You feel like you were in the driver's seat for most of this Game 7, but I'm sure the players couldn't explain it to you either, Justin, but is it really just a mental thing? Is it something that is there some block with this team, or is it just the universe doing universe things?
I don't know at this point, man. Like, I'm more inclined to lean into the voodoo and the universe and the greater than, what's happening in this building type forces ordeal. I mean, I truly don't know what to say. And I mean, you could see how distraught, Mac and Makar and Landy were. Like, McKinnon, I believe, called this the most shocking loss of his career. So, like, I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up perfectly. I don't know why the Avs could not close some of these games. I don't know if it's just lacking killer instinct. I don't know if it's just the Stars are a boogeyman that you have to, double tap and then shoot 3 more times to actually put them down. But, like, I guess they left the door open, and, Mikko Rantanen came flying in, and obviously that just adds extra salt to the wound. He was incredible in Game 6 and Game 7. From a storytelling standpoint, like, one of the more unique moments in NHL history, and good for that guy. He's a hell of a player. Obviously had a lot of great moments in an Avs uniform, but it just makes it sting that much more, given that it was our guy that came back, and I think it was the first hat trick in the 3rd period in Game 7 history in the NHL. So, like, it doesn't get much worse than that. I thought that I'd seen it all at this point in terms of brutal sports collapses, but this one might take the cake.
Historically ridiculous. I mean, what else can you say?
When you were saying in there, like, was it just a total morgue in there, or like just absolute quietness, or?
Yeah, I mean, it was hauntingly quiet in there. Guys were at a loss for words. Obviously, as they were going into the locker room, and there's like a curtain that they closed, so we can't see some of that, but you could hear guys cussing and smashing sticks and all of the appropriate feelings given the way that this one ended up playing out. But it was like being at a funeral in that locker room. And I'm not trying to be too hyperbolic here or anything like that. But like, again, going back to what we said about the big picture questions, I just think everybody knows that this is the type of result that can spark change. And I'm not sitting here like advocating saying fire Bednar or anything like that. I think he's a tremendous coach. I'll stand by my take, even from earlier today. But DeBoer's got his number. I mean, you can't argue against it at this point. Like, this is maybe a statistical anomaly, I guess. Like, at some point you feel like they got to be due, but also at some point one coach is just, he's got an edge for whatever reason in this particular matchup. And I don't know. What did you see? Like, did it feel like a whole lot changed in terms of like in-game adjustments or anything like that? I think oftentimes we overblow that as fans, and you got to make adjustments. You got to change things. I think it really just comes down to making plays. Like, I don't know if that much changed other than they didn't make that many plays early and they made some late.
For me, he can't go play. People are going to say like power play. It's you that at the end of the day, the guys that get on the ice, they're leading the scores in the National Hockey League, best D in the National Hockey League. In the whatever, they're going to go out there and do what they're going to do. There's no like scheme or whatever. Those guys, you can tell whatever they're going to tell. Yeah, and they gave up 13 shots on net, 12 minutes to go in the game. Like, I'm game 7 against a good team. So their game plan is good. Their systems are good. Like, when it came down to making plays at the right time, they didn't do it. Getting a save at the right time, they didn't do it. Getting a PK at the right time, they didn't do it. A PP, make a play, they didn't do it. So it's hard to fault the coach. I mean, that's just my first thought. I understand coaches are hired to be fired, and he's been here 10 years, 9 years, whatever. I get it. And I like him. I still think he should have been a finalist for the Jack Adams. I think it's a shame that he wasn't. With all the season that the weird season the Avalanche had. So I'm not going to blame the coach. At the end of the day, I blame guys for you're there. You're chosen to make plays. You didn't make plays. And that for me was the difference. That's tonight at 9:30 p.m. Denver time. First thought, mad, disappointed after, the lot like everybody else, and that's my first thought. Again, I don't see how I'm going to change my thought like next week or whatever, but that's, for me, that falls on the players that you got to make plays. You asked for this, they gave you that. With that comes a responsibility to be on top of your game, and as a group, as a whole, they didn't. They got beat. That's all I can say.
Yeah, to Justin's earlier point, there are multiple people sitting in that locker room that will not be back for this team this year.
No, again,
some of those pretty big pieces, some of those maybe smaller pieces.
And again, like you said, Cuss and man, for me, there's regrets. We talked about this, no regrets. Like, we're making fun of it for a couple of days the other day. Like, there's a lot of regrets. Are you kidding me? You look back at that series, there's a lot of regrets, and you should have a lot of regrets all summer long, because all you have to do is make a couple plays, you would have wrapped up that series.
Yeah, but they didn't.
I mean, that's it. I'm not trying to take away anything from the Dallas Stars, because the plays I'm talking about, they made them at the right time.
I want to talk about that a little bit more, but first, final thoughts, Justin. Obviously, not the way anyone wanted the series to end, but at least you get to go back to only covering one beat now.
At least we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm having fun. If you guys want me to come on the show at some point, I'd love to hop on.
We'll need you this offseason.
We'll definitely need you for the summer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a hockey guy now, I think. So I'm at a loss for words, man. I don't know. It felt like to me in a football game where you have a flashy offense who racks up, all these yards, and then when everything's perfect, man, that team sure is fun to watch. But when it's a 10-7 game and you got to grind it out, and one team's got to score on 4th and goal, one team's got to get a stop. Dallas was that team every single time. They were tougher. They were more timely. They outplayed the Avalanche without 2 of their top guys, and that puts you in a really tough position in terms of how you evaluate all this, because you should have won the series. You were the better team on paper. I think you could argue they were the better team more consistently in 5-5 play in this series, but special teams were brutal. If you can't go 3 of 22 on the power play and expect to have a ton of success, especially with this unit and how big of a factor that tends to be of a catalyst when the Avalanche are rolling and they're able to generate pressure. And mean, you got to credit Ottinger, obviously. The guy played out of his mind in this series. Elite goaltending. I after covering my first 7-game series, being in the building for 7 straight games, I would argue it's the most individually impactful position in sports. I've always argued quarterback in football before. I honestly think it's goaltending. I just don't think there's anybody that can more by himself win a game. And you got to tip your hat, man. It stings. I got my laptop here. Still have the Moose sticker on. I don't even know if you can see it with the camera angle, but just for it to be that guy in this building against this team, which has always been the Achilles heel of the Avalanche going back 25 plus years now, it's tough.
It's tough.
And this is one that for years and years you will look back on and have regret and feel like it got away, because if you could have just gotten through this series, it really felt like there was a very viable path to a championship, but they had to get through this one hurdle of a team that they haven't been able to get over. And yet again, they came up short.
Yep.
So
couldn't do it. All right. We'll let you go, Justin. We thank you for all the coverage during the playoffs. We'll definitely have you on during the offseason. Plenty. A lot of hard conversations are going to be had around the Colorado Avalanche. So get ready for some of those. We do need to pay a few bills here. So let's jump in with that. We are brought to you by Long Drink. A Finn sure did get his long drink today.
Yeah, we try to hide him from him. But
It was not the right Finn for the Avs. Go get yourself some long drink. Absolutely delicious if you haven't had them. I love the peach ones. They're made in Finland in 1952. So I don't know what to tell you. If you need something to drink, it's a great one to forget about this hockey game for a little while at the very least. But go check them out. Make sure you're picking up your long drinks. They're available like most places now. Certainly here at the DNVR bar. If you want to come down here and drink away your sorrows here, that is an option. You can go visit longdrinks.com/where to get it today to find long drinks in a store near you. They're also gluten-free and all natural. So, they're not all that bad for you. Jump in with Long Drink today, longdrink.com/where to get it. And then we're also brought to you by the folks over at Raising Cane's. Maybe you're more of an eating the sadness away from this type of game. Raising Cane's has you covered with delicious hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and secret cane sauce that is made in restaurant every single day. You hungry yet? Got to get that cane sauce. If you've never had cane sauce, by the way, go get it. It's so good. Ridiculously good stuff at Raising Cane's. You can dive in with Flavor Flav's faves. What are you waiting for? It's Cane's o'clock, baby. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast here. Let's hear from some of the guys first of all. I think a lot of people pretty disappointed with Cale Makar's series, and I think that's fair to say, us included. He did talk for a good 3-4 minutes after the game, so let's see what Cale had to say.
Don't really have any words right now to really describe what happened.
And Nate used the word shocking. Is that kind of the state of the locker room right now?
Yeah, I think we felt like our play was good enough at 5-on-5 and controlled that pace of the game. And just again, even when it went 2-1, I felt like we weathered it well. It just some unlucky stuff.
What happens after your stick breaks? Can you just go through that whole sequence there?
Yeah, just trying to defend. Didn't think he was going to cut that close to me when I slid, so I think I got the puck with my foot, but I guess I called tripping anyways. And yeah, it just, again, can't catch any luck. Of course, stick breaks there, so really, yeah, tough one.
The way things turn just so rapidly, is it almost even difficult to process right now as you sit here?
Yeah, it is. I mean, again, I felt like you go up 2-0 and then we're still playing well. 2-1, yeah, they get one, but then we have a couple other chances, and we're still right there, and then they get another one, and yeah, again, still right there. We're just tough one on the PK, and yeah, that's the way she goes.
Power play had a lot of opportunities during the series, and I guess didn't come up. You guys were hot to end the series and the season, didn't come up here. Like, I guess what did you see throughout the series that they were doing well that slowed you down?
Yeah, it's no doubt. That definitely is a big part of the series. Just not being able to capitalize the key moments on the power play. And, like it's going to happen at sometimes, but you got to gain that momentum. And for us, they did a good job of mitigating shots, especially up top, and then not allowing much on the flank too. So we made some adjustments, but just really couldn't get much on that. It seemed like it for the most part.
The last thing, is there any way to define, like the course of the series, what it comes down to when you're on the wrong end of the stick?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first couple games. Obviously, 2 OT games were right there, and yeah, if you grab one of those, it could be a completely different story. So, but that's the way playoffs goes. Sometimes you never really know, and it's really hard to process right now. But yeah.
Is it impossible to look at this group, knowing that you still have a really good group and a very good team, to even look at what it looks like going forward?
Yeah. Look, for this year, obviously management did an incredible job putting us in a position to have a good chance at winning, and it's obviously going to be a very tough first round when you finish third in the Central, and when you're playing anybody, Dallas, Winnipeg, doesn't matter. Really good teams. So for us, I think there's definitely bright spots that we can get excited for next year, but it's just yeah, right now it's tough.
Tougher that you had leads 3 times in the third period that you lost games. Is it tougher to deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to look back on this series, and like I touched on, a couple OT games there where you have moments in the game, and even this one, a moment, I get the puck in the slot and get a grade A shot and capitalize that. It's a completely different game. So thinking at that moment that something else was going to happen, we had to mitigate it, and you get your one chance and you got to make sure you get it. But yeah, just tonight, just unfortunate circumstance of events.
Thanks. Thank you guys. Thanks.
Cale touched on something at the start there. At 5-on-5, the Avs were probably the better team. And that's probably true. Obviously, the power plays are what crushed them tonight. But look, I am analytics guy number one. I love the numbers. I think they mean a lot. I care about them a lot. Yeah, a lot of the underlying numbers will tell you the Avs were the better team in this series. But if you lose 4 out of 7 to a team in the playoffs, you are not the better team. That's the end of story. Conversation over.
Then their goalie was better than yours. Their special teams were better than yours. I mean, it's very simple, right? You know, does that make sense?
Yep.
That's what the numbers are saying. They're saying you were the better team for most of it. But
look, you lose a best of one, weird things happen. You had a 7-game series and you lost 4 of them. You were not the better team.
No, exactly.
You're just not. Whatever the numbers say, 9 out of 10 times they win that. Doesn't matter. You weren't the better team this time.
Nope.
All right. Let's hear from Bednar as well. He did talk after the game. Obviously, I don't think anyone's going to be happy.
Any questions for head coach Jared Bednar? Jesse, we can start with you.
Coach, both Nate and Gabe talked about how shocking all that was. How hard is it for you to process what just happened in the third right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's just like, because you put your heart and soul into, the whole year, the series, all of it, and then you're in a good position and then slips away on you, and so it's tough because I know how hard these guys worked and how bad they wanted it, and that's all you can kind of really think of at this point.
Corey and then Pierre.
Was there anything in particular that changed in the last 13 minutes of that game?
Well, they had a couple of guys make some big plays for me. Besides that, not a whole lot.
Pierre.
Jared, Mikko Rantanen in the last 3 games. I mean, you had him under wraps for the first 4, but that's the player I guess. How would you describe what he did here?
Well, kind of what he did in the second period the other night. That's the thing with Mikko is he can, it's not about always just creating multiple chances or every time he touches the puck, but big moments. Look at that first goal, pretty nice individual effort, rips it off the bar and down, then finds a way to get the other one on the wraparound. Hits our skate, but it's still high quality play and he capitalizes on it. He can capitalize. That's what he is. He's a pure goal scorer. He did that in the third.
John and then Evan.
Jared, you were in control
and the building was silent. The way everything just abruptly turned, is that an exacerbated pain a little bit? It happened so suddenly?
Yeah, definitely. Because I was actually really liking our third. Like, we score our first shift, and then right before Mikko scored, we get like a couple really good looks in the slot. I think it was net cash from behind the net to Taze right in the slot. He missed the net, and then McKinnon found Makar in there too, and then Mikko goes down and scores, and we're kind of quiet for another few minutes, and the special teams hit, and they get the power play goal, and obviously tough situation at the end. You get called again, and then they get the other one. So I mean, it's tough, but I thought our guys played hard. We continued to play. We got another chance later from the slot. I think it was Kelly. So you got to keep pushing. You can't sit back. And I thought our guys tried to continue to do that.
Evan.
You guys had the best power play in the league last couple months of the season. And it goes 3 for 22 this series. I guess, what did you see from the entire series?
Yeah, I think different earlier in the series, got more dangerous as the series went on. But tough capitalizing on our chances for sure. I think our first power play tonight was probably my favorite. Obviously, we have like the rest can continue to call the game. We got a couple opportunities later in the game to, get a lead, stretch out a lead, and we didn't capitalize. And one of them, we weren't that dangerous, and then they came down and put it in the back of the net. So it's obviously a big swing and turning point in the series. But so, I mean, obviously you'd like it to be more dangerous than what it was at times in the series.
Go ahead, Corey.
I apologize for asking this right after the game, but just like, where does this go from here for this group, for the franchise?
No idea. I'm not even thinking about that yet.
Any last questions? Go ahead, Evan.
Nate said this is the most shocking loss you guys have had since he's been here. I guess it's still fresh, but is that something you would agree with?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a like, I really liked the way a lot of the things we did and the way we played in the series. We played hard and played well. Some games we did a better job capitalizing on some of our chances. It would have been nice to capitalize a little bit more in some of the games that we lost, because I think they did a lot of good things to create good looks, and Ottinger was good, the team was good. It's probably, I think about it's 9 years, it's, it's a good team. It's a really good team. Like 2021, we were good. We got bounced out. 2022, we obviously were really good. This is the best team we've had since, though.
Jesse, go ahead, finish.
Coach, I guess just given everything that you just said, liking the way that your team played, and playing at such a tough opponent, having such a good team, how do you go about kind of analyzing this here over the next days, weeks, and kind of reconciling all of it?
Well, I already know that we really liked our 5-on-5 play through the series. Special teams were a major factor in all of our losses, and it's special teams that were really good during the year and even in the second half. But yeah, you're facing obviously a really dangerous power play, which makes it tough, and a strong penalty kill, one of the best in the league too. So it's frustrating because you do a lot of good things for a lot of the game, and then you don't get it done in certain areas, or could be a different area each night that costs you. That just shows you how well rounded you got to be in order to win against a team like Dallas.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Avs weren't well rounded enough to get it done, I guess. There's no fixing it. There's no saving it tonight. Obviously, you can have conversations in the off season, but
I'll tell you one thing. This is one thing I hate. I tell you that all the time. Like, you shouldn't have coaches meet. It's so fresh. It's so hard. Oh my God, I hate that. I do. I mean, they meet like every day. Like, they got to be available and everything. And after a tough loss, like, give the guy breathing room and see you Monday. But whatever. That's just soft spot in me there. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, we've got a lot of super chats, so let's get to those. we'll go from there. Yeah, whichever. $2 from Jacob, who says, this team just has our number. Love y'all. Appreciate the love. $10 from Zach, who says, thanks for all you do, DNVR. $9.99 for Cale's new twig. Unfortunate. Yeah, it's the way it goes sometimes. $2 from Bobby Ballantyne, says, stunned, sucks, no killer instincts. They didn't close, that's for sure. $5 from Ragnar that says, the optimism I have for this team is we will have our captain next year. Maybe they go find a 2C and Nate just gels with the core. This hurts. This sucks. Yeah, I mean, Landy looked good. Hopefully he's ready to rock and be a part of the team next season. $10 from Phantom, who says, I'm sincerely sorry one team had to go home tonight. Thank you all for everything. Love you, Avs Nation, and really hope we get to see you all next year. Truly an insane series. Phantom. Yeah, you guys got to show Phantom some more love. He's an opposing team in our chat. He's a cool dude.
And he's like actively compliments the Avs.
Yeah.
So like you got to learn how to have other opposing fans in the chat. If they're not being jerks, I'm not going to get rid of them.
$5 from Tyler, who says, all the tools, no toolbox. Bednar has to go. Can't get out coached 3 years straight. I don't think Bednar is going to get fired this offseason, but it's certainly the biggest conversation about it it's been since 2017.
I mean, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But is that the reason?
$20 from Jamie, who says, thanks for the fun year. Special love to Tiff. Hope this team comes back next year and learns from this.
Thanks, girl. Appreciate you.
I don't know. Right now, it feels like they're never going to learn because they just can't do it in Game 7s or they can't do it against Dallas. But hopefully in 1 year's time, they're proving me wrong. $28 from the incredible Drew, who says, like I said before the game, refs played a massive part in this. Sure, you can call Drury's hold, but what about the blatant pick that let Mikko walk to the slot unguarded? Call nothing or call everything. Gonna go break things now. Whatever. I mean, the reffing was terrible all series. It is what it is. I don't really think there's any blame on the refs tonight.
I still haven't seen that play there because remember when Dark?
Yeah, I know.
Still don't know how Mikko got loose there. Like
it's just this typical crossplay. It wasn't a hard pick, but
okay,
they're in there, and then Lindgren I think can't fight through it, and Lecky like flies past Mikko. The switch was bad. Anyway, I don't know. If you want to be a real cup contender, you have to play through some shit, and they didn't. $5 from NR, who says, this is, I think, the worst loss in franchise history. Also, the playoff format is garbage. That Mikko trade is all-time terrible. Nature's who? I don't know that it's the worst loss in franchise history, but it's definitely up there.
It's a frustrating one for sure.
Yeah. I think the Detroit 7-0 game is probably worse.
That was a tough one.
Just because that one, that wasn't even competitive. But
that was tough.
I don't know. It probably depends on how you look at it. $5 from Elliot. I don't see a comment, but thank you very much. $20 from Tyler says, what upset me more than the loss was seeing Taze jump into Mikko's arms in the handshake line. I get they're all buddies, but he just eliminated you by himself. Same with Nate. All smiles make it look like you care a bit. These are human beings and really close friends who won a Stanley Cup together.
Yeah.
You're allowed to feel good for a guy even if you guys blew it. Like, come on. I ain't buying that, what you're selling. I get it. I get the fan base wants to hate him. I get he's really easy to hate when he does what he just did to the Colorado Avalanche, but they're human beings. Another 5 from NR that says, boys, Dallas didn't outplay the Avs this series. The Avs handily won 3 games and lost 3 in a heartbreaking close fashion. This is mostly on Bednar. Again, why are you giving them credit for stuff that Bednar isn't getting credit for? This is just a weird conversation to me. Everything bad is Bednar's fault. Everything good is not Bednar's fault.
I don't know.
I just don't understand the argument. Again, I think this is the most in question Bednar should be. I think there are things you can be mad about with Bednar, but you have to be realistic about the good things he also should get credit for if you're counting the bad things against him. $5 from Dobayala. With health talent on this team, will they go down in history as a one-cup team that could never become the next LA or Chicago to win multiple cups? I mean, I don't know. Like, obviously, the future still exists. The Avs could very easily go on a run. Nathan McKinnon's in the middle of his prime. Cale Makar is just entering his prime. Unless he decides to play the rest of his career like he did this series, he's still a really, really good hockey player. So I don't know what the future holds, but this one definitely, for a core era where all of their other eliminations felt like there were reasons for them, there's not a whole lot of excuses for this one. This one feels like they just missed the boat.
And I compare all the time the two cores, right? The 01, the 1.0 and 2.0, but the 1.0, they did go to the semifinals a few times. That's the difference right now. I feel that these guys are not even passing the first round. And that's where I got to pump the brakes a little bit here and evaluate a little bit more where this is going.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of changes coming to this team, whether you want it or not. It's happening. $5 from Travis that says, is trading Mikko the black mark on this franchise, McFarland? I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's the way I said it when it happened is the trade is either going to go down as the move that they had to make. If the Avs go on and win another cup in the rest of this era, it probably doesn't happen that way. But if the Avs fail to get another cup, then regardless of how you feel about it, it's going to be, the Avs traded away a really good player, and that was the start of the end of this era. So the story's not written yet, but for this year, obviously it didn't work out in that series. $10 from Joe. Thanks for another great season of coverage, boys. We all appreciate the work and passion you guys put into covering this team. Going to be a bummer the next few days. The power play cost the season. I would still say special teams as a whole, but the power play is the bigger part for sure. $5 from D-Joe, who says, if we lost without Mikko scoring a goal, then okay, but I'm sure C-Mac has some answering to do after that. Hattie will be an interesting offseason. I mean, I did not just C-Mac. Everyone has questions to answer here. Yeah. C-Mac, Bednar, as much as I don't think he's going to get fired, let's not pretend he doesn't have questions to answer. He does.
For sure.
Ray Bennett, questions to answer. Nathan McKinnon, questions to answer. Cale Makar, questions to answer. Every player down the line, questions to answer for the Colorado Avalanche this offseason. Another early exit with a talented team. Girard has to go. Way too soft for playoffs, and his play on the wraparound was horrible. Too many mental mistakes on D, and 4v4 personnel choice was poor. Time for a head coach change. I mean, I don't think Girard was that bad in this series. Obviously, that goal sucks. And that's bad luck, crazy bounce, dumb stuff, but shit happens. Find a way to not be the guy that the bad bounce happens to, right? Yeah. We have all off season to talk about the changes. I've probably talked about it too much already, but who knows? I mean, on May 7th, the Avs might not have a head coach, or they might have a head coach winning a Stanley Cup for them next year, and it's still Jared Bednar. But both things are on the table. $5 more from WB, who says, despite Avs loss, got to hand it to Mikko. Showed up and single-handedly shut the door on the Avs. Top-class player and person. Mikko's the guy who made the plays. I really think the Avs shot themselves in the foot, but Mikko was there to take advantage of it. He's the one who executed and made the plays that ultimately the Avs are sitting at home now. $10 from Tim, who says, all I care about is Delandy came back, played hard, and led. Let's build on that momentum and fill out the team with Landy-type players to build on the roster for 25-26. Thanks, DNVR. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to build out a roster in some ways. It's going to be hard to do, given the Avs cap situation, but again, a lot of offseason to go. $5 from Woody, who says, can we please talk about how Landy should have come back game 2, but he needed the narrative beat of game 3, and that cost us because of Wood. Not what happened, not accurate.
That's not how it works.
That just isn't. If Landy was ready to play game 3, he'd have played, or game 2, he'd have played game 2. $5 from NR, another 5L take on Dallas being the better team. Overall, the Avs won 3 games handily, lost 3 close games that they could have won, and lost 1 handily. We've covered this, but thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. $10 from Avalanche, looks back at game 3. Avs get their captain back, play flat as hell right from the start. That told me something about this team that was more shocking than the Avs choking. Thank you for the coverage, DNVR. They just couldn't do it. There's no... They just, you can talk about whatever you want. They lost the series 4-3, and that wasn't good enough. $5 from Jaden. Changes are needed. Can't keep throwing the same crap out there and expecting the different results. Sure. Again, the changes are coming. Just not sure the full extent of what they'll be. $5 from Ryan, who says, C-Mac with the bad trades and Bednar failing to adapt to DeBoer means they should be fired. This is a Maple Leafs style choke job. It doesn't really feel like a Leafs job. It's not like the Avs got up 3-0 in the series or something. Obviously, that game 7 is hella choke. Totally choke city. But the whole series didn't feel that chokey. The Avs just weren't better. $2 from Sadistic. Game 7 could have been worse. Thanks, all DNVR staff. It could have. It doesn't feel like it now, but Gabe Landeskog's knee didn't explode again. Like, no one took a serious injury. It can always be worse, man. $8 from Dave. Landy and Nuke are back and healthy. This year was filled with Band-Aids covering a constantly revolving roster. Off-season needed for health and to gel. I mean, in some ways, in parts of the season, yes. But in the playoffs, you were as healthy as you'd ever been. Your team is as good. Even Bednar said this is the best team we've had since the Cup win. And you couldn't even get out of round 1.
Yep.
So, yeah. Is what it is. $5 from a presumably Stars fan that says fire Nico, which I agree. You guys should fire that GM immediately. That Luka trade is far worse than the Mikko trade.
My brain is so into hockey. I was like, who the frick is this guy talking about? But yes, that makes sense.
$5 from Aaron, who says, where can the Avs go now? They went so all in for 2025 that it feels like they took most of the Cup window years off the table with no hope of reload. Yeah, it's going to be hard. I'll say this, and you'll hear me say it a lot in the offseason. When you have Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar in your core, you have a chance, except for apparently in Game 7s. But other than that, with those two guys, you have a chance. But they're going to have to do some work to build around them. $5 more from NR, who says, tough loss, but thanks for the coverage and riding the roller coaster. Yeah, I mean, thank you guys too, but I'll get to that in a second here. The insanely large super chat, $100 from Speed Limit, who says, appreciate all the work DNVR crew puts in throughout the year. Wish the offseason wasn't starting so soon. Love to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, $100 is ridiculous.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's that time of the season again where I get to thank you guys and get all emotional and all of that, because obviously the Avs season ending sucks. There is no fun to be had in a season that ends like that in the moment. But we get to do this job for a living. I get to be sad about the Colorado Avalanche losing a Game 7 as a job because of y'all. Like, that's all there is to it. I know, obviously, like, we disagree all the time. There are people in chat that are going to have different opinions than I do, and that's part of the thing. Like, that's part of what makes sports great, is because people see things differently and they want to do different things. And, you know, half the time, neither of you are right. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes the people I'm talking to are wrong. That's part of the whole conversation and the community of sports. And I never want to forget that, you know. It's all of a community. It's all people that are bringing everything together to be something more than what it is individually. And I consider myself extremely lucky to be part of that, let alone on this podcast and having it be my daily life to do this as a job. So it's incredible that all of you show up and are part of this. And I'd just be a guy screaming into the void otherwise. So I thank you to you guys. And of course, thank you to all of the people that are working on the Avs beat. He is amazing to work with. He's so smart about hockey, and he has so much experience in it. And I've learned so much from him, and he's just awesome. I know some of you think we hate each other, but we don't.
No, we love each other.
It's incredibly lucky that I get to work with him. Tiff, unbelievable producer, puts up with all of our nonsense all the time. Always has all of the good stuff going on. AJ, his written work this year has been unbelievably good. so much work on that front. Even Justin coming in for the playoffs and traveling for us and doing all that. It was great on the shows. All the way through. Even Giz, who I wish could have been part of this with us, but unfortunately not meant to be. But everyone I meet in this job, in this industry, it's all love. Even when we're sad, even when we're down, the people it's all love, man. So I owe the world to everybody. So I just wanted to say thank you, and y'all help me a lot. It makes getting through life easier with some shit that I'm going through right now. So thank y'all for that. I don't have a ton else to say. A couple other super chats rolling in here.
We love you guys. We do have to end at some point, though. So please stop giving us money. Thank you, though.
I don't know if you want final thoughts on the season or anything, but
yeah, we'll talk obviously next week. But it's hard to follow up what you just said. You're bang on. So true. From Tiff and behind the scenes to Nick was awesome to us too. Obviously, Justin and like you said, everyone that is with us, and especially chat. It sounds like we always have fun interacting. Doesn't mean that we agree or disagree or you agree or we agree. It doesn't matter. Everybody has their different styles, but we get to talk hockey and we get to, for me, Avalanche is a family, and obviously the people here with the DNVR, our crew is a family, and it's tough. A night like tonight, I got to be honest with you, it's hard. It's hard, and it's, the gut punches. So kind of stinks, but thank you to everybody, all of us here, AJ, like you said, Jeff, everyone, Nick and Justin and all of chat, honestly. And man, not fun. Not fun to end like this, and it's hard,
sucks.
But hey, you know what? We'll dissect it. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
Go from there, and we'll see what's going to happen.
We'll still be live 5 times a week in the off season. So if you're a sicko who wants to talk every little detail of the Avs, we'll have that for you.
Yep.
We're off tomorrow. Monday, we will likely be previewing round 2 of the playoffs, which unfortunately will not include the Avs, but there is still a lot of playoff hockey left. So if you want to talk about that, come join us. I got nothing else. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. This has been the DNVR Avalanche post-game show for the last time in the 24-25 season. We'll see you in the off season.
We all silly like the mayor.